Brighten up those already bright mornings. Wheeler, Ollie, and Lecter. Mornings at the cabin.
Hello, everybody. One of those mornings that reminds you why you live in the Northwest Territories. Because it's not for summer, is it? Let's face it. 12 degrees outside. I don't think it's gone down by a degree since I got into the office. And it's a little bit wet. And it's a little bit miserable. But the weekend was all right. Lecter, how was your weekend?
The weekend was a pleasant surprise, wasn't it?
It was all right.
Yeah. You see like highs of 16 and you're like, But it was all right.
Yeah.
Sun was out pretty much the whole time.
It was pretty warm yesterday.
It was lovely.
He kept saying like 16, 17. Oh, that's more like 25. It's gorgeous.
Yeah, I'll take that all day.
Lovely day to be out at a duck race.
Not great for a bridge jump, but great for a duck race.
Listen, out of all the activities that we've done at the Yellowknife River Bridge in the past week, I have to say the duck race was the one where I was most at ease.
Fair enough, yeah.
As I stared down from the river bridge where my GoPro went this time last week. Sigh. So I have done a little bit of a deal with the devil on that.
Oh.
And I was doing a little bit of help with editing for Jeremy McDonald's diving TV show last night.
Oh, okay.
In return for Jeremy McDonald going and having a dive down to rescue the Cabin Radio GoPro sometime this week.
Yes, lovely.
So he's on the case. We may end up starring in his TV show as a result.
Yeah, fair enough.
I should warn everybody, there is a future episode of Stuff We Found Diving in YK that will feature Cabin Radio looking sheepish on the river bridge, waiting patiently for a GoPro to be winched to safety. We wouldn't have it any other way.
No.
Cabin Radio.
It's a role well suited for us looking sheepish.
We look sheepish with the best of them. Sheepdogs!
Mornings at the cabin. The podcast.
No excuses, Megan Trainor, 7:12. Mornings at the cabin. Oh, Megan, you know better than that. Of course there are excuses. We use them all the time. Sir, what's the lamest excuse you've ever deployed in a situation that has actually worked?
Oh, gosh. I don't know. I really don't like lying of any sort. I'm really bad at that kind of thing.
Yeah?
How this be a lie?
Oh, I see.
I don't know. And what about you?
Oh, I got a revolving door of
think about
excuses.
this.
Yeah, you need a bit of time to think about it.
Yeah,
No, I got
I could think of some for you.
Oh, thanks.
I think.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's interesting how every time we have slow pitch, Ollie has to record Jim Taylor's show, or he has to film something, or, there's always something that comes up, or is rescheduled to land on a slow pitch night.
I'm a busy man. I got commitments. I have a lot going on in life, and I despise slow pitch with a passion that burns. Yeah, this is the way things go, and it's unfortunate. I will grant you that I sometimes am not available for slow pitch, but such is the nature of it. I mean, that is why my team sports participation has fallen off a bit of a cliff. But we're launching a radio station. Yeah, that's an excuse, but it's a good one.
Okay. What about me? What have I? What excuses have I?
I don't. You're quite right. You tend not to use excuses. You tend to just leave. You tend to just stop doing something or just not do it. And there's no sort of oh, I'm sorry, but it's just well, I'm not doing it.
Don't feel like it.
Yeah, sorry. No, not interested. And that's not an excuse as much as a declaration of intent, which is absolutely fine. So yeah, I'm glad we had that conversation about slow pitch while Lecter was not in the room, because I feel much better having that without him listening. So yeah, well played. Lecter has strolled into the room now. We're talking about excuses, Lecter. And excuses. We were listening to Megan Trainor then, no excuses, and I was just telling Megan that actually there's plenty of excuses here at Cabin Radio, and we cycle through them on a regular basis. I wondered if you what the lamest excuse you've heard recently is, and then I realised this is almost certainly going to come down to a slow pitch contest again, because you are in your debut season as a slow pitch team captain. And I'm sure you've heard your fair share of excuses so far this season.
Everyone thinks they can put one over on the rookie captain.
Oh, do they?
First of all, before we get into it, I'd like to say that your mama raised you better than that.
Well, she's probably listening. Yes, she did. She definitely raised me better than that and would never do anything like that herself. Sigh. Okay, good. That disclaimer is now out there. Carry on.
So best excuses that I've heard?
Yes.
Best / worst, which is kind of one and the same.
Best / worst, yeah. I mean, what's the, or even that you've used in life?
Oh, that I've used in life? I don't want to get into that.
Okay.
Jesse Wheeler, however. I did enjoy his ongoing saga of probably about a little over a month. The excuse for not attending slow pitch being, I don't want to get hurt. I'm going on this vacation. I'm going to be walking. I'm going to be walking some more, some driving, and I don't want to get hurt. And it's funny because after a while, I just kind of stopped. I was like, all right, I just assume he's not going to be there. But every time we brought up slow pitch, he'd be like, I want to be there. I just don't want to get hurt. And I was just like, okay. Get it, Jesse. I wasn't counting in, but since you brought it up, I'm going to harass you now and make fun of you for not wanting to play.
Yep.
Which I think was essentially more of the thing.
Mm. You think, don't worry, you don't have to get hurt. You can just come and support.
That's right. That's right.
If you really want to be there, don't worry. You could just be in the bleachers. We'd enjoy the additional support, and the likelihood of you being struck by an errant object is slim.
I kept giving him the pinch running option. He just didn't want to take it. Sarah, I do have to say, I appreciate you don't really make excuses.
This is what we would just say.
Okay.
Yes.
So we're on the same page there. Yeah, it's more just
I'll
slow
show
pitch
up
tonight.
and I will be miserable.
It's slow pitch tonight. You coming? Do I have to? It's like you'd rather just be doing anything else in the world. And you know what? That's a direct approach, and I can appreciate that. That's fair.
Exactly. Who needs excuses when you have miserable bluntness?
The Mornings at the Cabin podcast. Hey, it was early. What do you want from us?
Good morning, everybody. Welcome back. Lecter's with us and Sarah's with us as well. And I had the privilege of attending the JumpStart Canadian Tire Duck Race on Sunday. A little bit of a live-on-air duck race play-by-play. Add that to my list of sports.
Live on air?
Yeah, we did a little
oh, wow.
little play-by-play.
Oh.
The reason we didn't do more play-by-play, I'm kind of glad that I did not commit ahead of time to doing the whole race. Because, gotta be honest with you, those ducks were not into it. First of all, before we do anything else, and he may be able to hear this from a distance, I did have a question put to me by AJ at the start of the day. The two of us went out there. Yellowknife River Bridge.
Yeah.
The whole idea is,
I'm
you
familiar.
release the ducks. You know how a duck race works, right?
I've never witnessed one. I've certainly never called play-by-play on one.
Well, AJ was probably in the same boat as you. Didn't seem overly familiar. He came up to me and said, so, are these real ducks?
AJ.
Just imagining.
Did you pat him on the head at that moment?
Just imagining Canadian Tire releasing 900 real ducks.
Yeah. Maybe it started that way back in 1976.
Yeah, and how that would go. Yeah. Oh, is that the winner? Well, it's gone. Can you? Anyone see the number on that duck? The one? No, that one.
It might have been a 7. It might have been a 1.
Yeah. See if you can bring it down.
We'll just split the prize.
At which point it was pointed out to us that a Canadian Tire JumpStart duck shoot would go about as well. This is one of the few places in the world, I would imagine, where people would probably sign up in equal numbers and be like, "Yep, we'll be there."
Yeah.
But yes, there were not real ducks involved. There were, however, 900 fake ducks, and they did not want to swim. The wind conditions were sort of pushing from the lake a little bit upstream into the river, so the organizers decided, right, we're going to release the ducks on the lake, then they'll get pushed upstream to the river bridge. Great. Excellent plan.
And of course, sorry to interrupt, but as a professional broadcaster, you, of course, were very much on top of the wind conditions, the temperature, the relative humidity in the air.
They did a trial run and everything, and I was down there for the trial run, the forerunner, as we call it in Olympic terminology. And that duck was fine. Yeah, it bobbed along under the bridge. Great, done.
No pressure.
20 minutes later, we released the ducks. No wind. No nothing. Current is all gone. Ducks, up, down, up, down, up, down. 15 minutes later, 300 people gathered. Ducks have not moved an inch.
Oh, no.
Not an inch. Still out there. There's like several canoeists surrounding them. Because the idea is that you like guide the ducks away from the shore so that they all make it to the finish line.
Right.
And the canoeists are like paddling around a bit, trying to get some waves going. There's a guy in like a motorboat going up and down behind it, trying to generate waves, like urge
There's a
the ducks
whipping
on.
around behind
Yeah, right. That is exactly what's happening.
Sitting ducks.
Very nice. Very nice.
Very good. And so after 20 minutes, race control decided that they should just select the lead 3 ducks. But you're looking at this pile of 900 ducks. You're like, under what criteria are you going to select the lead 3 ducks from this peloton that's like parked out in the distance? So anyway, someone goes over in a boat, plucks 3 ducks. Yeah, and we're still like, honest to God, we're 500 feet from the bridge at this point. Like, it is a long way.
Yeah.
If they'd been left to their own devices, it would have been a 9-hour race.
Oh my God!
And so we finally got the 3 ducks over there, and
they just like huck them across the finish line.
We didn't even. I think by the end of it, everybody was so
over it.
Yeah, just no longer at all enamored with the ducks. They were just like, right, grab the 3 ducks, got them back to shore. Almost like in duck detention. Yeah, like, you will sit there and think about what you've done. Yeah. All right, duck 681 or whatever. And so, yeah. So
well, it sounds like all the ducks were quite content to sit there and think about what they had done.
Yeah, they were really, as ducks go, a little disappointed.
Oh.
It was quite entertaining. It was really well attended.
Yeah.
It was a really good day. I mean, other than the fact that the ducks were singly bad at their job, everybody else was great. Nice little barbecue, bouncy castle, fun and games. We had there 3-4 hours. It was really good fun, and they raised I think more than 10 grand for JumpStart as a result of that. So
good stuff.
So great job to them. It's nice to have the duck race back. Maybe next year we'll try with real ducks.
Yeah. Well, sounds like
they can't be any worse.
You know, highly anticipated sporting events can just go this way sometimes. Yeah. Everyone's got their hopes up. They're all ready for a good race, and it's just a big disappointment. It happens. It's part of sports.
It's part of sports. Super Duck 51 will be remembered for all time as one of those that maybe didn't quite catch fire. But still, somebody got to go home with a $1,000 Canadian Tire gift certificate. He wasn't there at the time, so if you know Liam Thornhill, let Liam know. He needs to get in touch with Canadian Tire because he won himself $1,000 in a gift card. And no matter how bad the race was, that's a pretty good ending.
Congrats, Liam. Your duck sat just in front.
Your duck somehow was adjudged to be in front of 899 other ducks, 500 feet from a finish line. You are the true winner.
Scenes from the cabin.
I knew you'd come. But my strength has left me.
Who are you?
The last of the 3 brothers who swore an oath to find the Grail and to guard it.
That was 700 years ago.
A long time to wait. You're strangely dressed for a knight.
I'm not exactly a knight. What do you mean?
I was chosen because I was the bravest and most worthy. The honor was mine until another came to challenge me to single combat. I pass it to you who vanquished me.
Listen, I don't have time to explain, but...
Which one is it?
You must choose. But choose wisely, for as the true Grail will bring you life, the false Grail will take it from you.
I'm not a historian. I have no idea what it looks like. Which one is it?
Let me choose.
Thank you, Doctor. Oh, yes. It's more beautiful than I'd ever imagined. This certainly is the cup of the King of Kings. Eternal life. What's happening to me? What's happening?
He chose poorly.
Scenes from the cabin.
Know the movie? Submit your guess to mailbox@cabinradio.ca or send us a message on Facebook for your chance to win gift certificates to some awesome Yellowknife restaurants, including Zehabesha, Main Street Pizza, the Woodyard Eatery, Copperhouse Restaurant, and Javaroma. Listen to Cabin Radio every weekday to win, or download the Mornings at the Cabin podcast.
Undoubtedly, a story everybody's been following over the past week is the search for the 2 teenagers, Bryash Migelski and Cam McLeod, who are wanted in connection with the 3 killings in BC. They've been on the run for about a week and have made it as far, reportedly, or at least it's suspected, that they may be around a place called York Landing in northern Manitoba. Now, I imagine this has had many Canadians reaching for Google Maps over the past 24 hours to figure out precisely where is this. It's northeast of Thompson, Manitoba, about 1,000 kilometers north of Winnipeg. There's a highway 280 that runs northeast of Thompson. You get to a place called Split Lake, and then there's a little community of Split Lake, and then you have to get a ferry at this time of year across to York Landing, which is the home of the York Factory Cree Nation. And that is where they think these two guys might have ended up. I mean, Lecter, it's interesting. This is the first time since I moved to Canada that I've been fully tuned in to something like this, where there's been a manhunt going on for days. Compared to the UK, like the UK is all right. It's got a big population, but there's a limited number of places you can really go.
Right,
and wherever
it's all pretty connected.
Wherever you go, it's pretty connected. There's going to be a few different ways to get to it. If you need to get 300 police officers somewhere to search for people, you're going to be able to do it pretty quickly.
Yeah,
this is a different ballgame. It's incredible when you start to look at the nooks and crannies, if you like, of Canada. The places you could go if you were trying to hide. And just the difficulty for police of just getting people there.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm sure it would be easy enough for the police to get there, just obviously a bit more cost. But, you can get a couple choppers and you can pretty much go anywhere. These guys, obviously, it'd be a little bit tougher to procure a helicopter and to get wherever you need to go, especially undetected. So yeah, I don't know. It's kind of interesting that they've made it to such a supposedly made it to such a remote area. Yeah, it's and like you say, yeah, it's been a while since a story like this has come out that's kind of like captivated the whole country and had everyone paying attention to the same thing. It's obviously an awful story, and hopefully these two are caught sooner than later. But yeah, it's definitely been a while since we had the whole country really following the same story.
It must be a really strange feeling to be from the York Factory Cree Nation right now. I think something a lot of NWT residents can identify with is what it would feel like for a very small community to end up being the focus of national attention like this and end up being taken over by, I mean, there's dog units, drones, helicopters, and ground patrols that have arrived there so far. They've got 30 officers, apparently, have turned up in the community so far to assist with this. I mean, York Landing looks like it's about the size of maybe even Kakisa or somewhere like that.
Right.
It looks pretty darn small. The idea of, the whole, I mean, you can imagine there are probably broadcast trucks parked up. Yeah, if not...
As close as they can get.
Yeah, right, as close as they can get. Probably they may not even be able to get on the ferry to get across there yet.
Right.
They're probably parked up at Split Lake if they can't get across to York Landing. It must be so strange. There's a quote here from the chief of York Factory Cree Nation, Leroy Constant, saying, it doesn't feel real. It's really shocking and concerning to know that these two people are possibly here. And that's the other thing. In a community that small, it must seem crazy to think that, like, how can we not know? Yeah,
well, and at the same time, it's just scary because everyone probably feels slightly vulnerable, right? Like, regardless, obviously, these two know that they're being chased, and the authorities are pretty hot on their heels right now. So I'm sure they're just basically hiding as much as possible. I wouldn't imagine they're looking to make too much more noise. So in the grand scheme of things, I mean, like, people are probably not in terrible danger, but it's hard not to feel that way, especially when it is such a small community, and that, like, you've got all this activity around it where you're certainly not used to that kind of commotion.
Yeah, you're going to be pretty scared, I think, at that point. So there is no update this morning. So far, we don't have any news. There were all kinds of rumors online yesterday about whether there had been arrests, whether anything had happened, whether there'd been the rumors of all sorts of things. Nothing yet concrete from York Landing. Of course, we'll keep you updated with that, and there'll be more in our lunchtime news if we find out. In the meantime, the search carries on this morning for Brian Schmogelski and Cam McLeod, thought to be in a tiny Cree Nation, accessible only by ferry at this time of year, northeast of Thompson, Manitoba.
The Mornings at the Cabin podcast.
We started off the weekend with an entertaining little trip over to the SPCA, where Penelope, the Cabin Radio dog, got to meet some new friends from the 501st Legion.
Oh, yes. Yeah. The Stormtroopers were in town.
Stormtroopers were in town for Tomicon, and Penny got to go meet them. Little video on our Facebook page. I will say that if ever there is a battle in future and you need to know how to take down a Stormtrooper, the answer is puppies.
Oh, huh.
which is convenient because we do have quite a few of those in the Northwest Territory. It's quite a strong line of defense over there at the SPCA.
I would have guessed lightsabers. Those things seem to
Don't
cut
need 'em.
through them like butter.
Don't need them. No, puppies cut through them like
Nope.
butter. It's great.
Emotionally.
Yeah,
So-
right.
Not even about-
Physically, a
No, this is-
lightsaber's got to be better.
This is purely a physical attack. It turns out, having watched the stormtroopers get into their uniforms on Friday evening, that mobility is an issue.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Once you put those things on, turns out it's not the easiest to get around in.
Yeah,
And the
explains a lot, yeah.
stormtroopers are being led out of the SPCA's building
Hmm.
by their assistant. And
Explains a ton,
And
really.
Petty tried to get through past them on the ground. And the
Oh,
assistants,
jeez.
they're yelling, "Puppy! Puppy! Puppy!" And the stormtroopers are like freeze in place because they can't see down to their legs. Because like the helmets don't let them, like they haven't got the neck movement or the vision peripherally to
Right.
see where the puppy is. So these guys with like massive weapons in their hands dressed as stormtroopers have to freeze in place. Okay, all clear. And then carry on again.
Well, that explains why they can't shoot anything.
This
They save
explains
their
a
lives.
lot.
Yeah.
Literally everything about the
A lot.
uselessness of stormtroopers in
Yeah.
the Star Wars
Yeah.
movies.
A 1'4" puppy brought the advancing stormtroopers to a halt.
Brought the Empire to its
Yeah.
knees.
Penny just jogs past them and outside like, "Do-do-do-do-do." Okay, coast clear, go.
Well, we already knew she was a hero.
And one of the stormtroopers brought the wrong color boots,
Ah.
and all the other stormtroopers were laughing. I was like, "Oh, life in the Empire is so tough."
It's got to happen all the time. Yeah. What is
Yeah.
like a brown leather boot?
Oh, it was black, but they're supposed to be white.
Come
and-
on.
Oh.
And everybody was all worried about
That's
it.
day one stuff. That is
Yeah.
day one.
Yeah.
Read the manual.
Anyway, speaking of pets, we have more pets added to the Cabin Radio roster.
Great.
Yeah, I thought you'd be pleased. You'll notice that I swapped out the garbage cans on the weekend.
I did notice.
Two
Yes.
reasons. One is they are now puppy proof, which is very important because
Which is a good thing.
yeah, no matter what we tell that dog, she refuses to accept that the dog height sort of tasty thing dispensers in the building are not hers.
Honestly, I don't even think she understands English.
She understands certain words of English.
Yeah, I guess.
She absolutely understands anything related to food, walks, or pets.
That's true. Yeah.
She is well on top of those.
Just strongly disagrees on the no garbage front.
Yeah.
It's not
Yeah.
that she doesn't understand. It's just like, well, that doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Honestly, I
why
think that's
wouldn't
it.
I eat it?
Right.
She-
It smells delicious.
She behaves perfectly with all the other stuff, but I honestly don't think she comprehends how it could possibly not be her food.
Yeah.
Because it's positioned in receptacles that are clearly at her height, not ours. Why on earth would it not be for her?
Maybe she thinks that we're just selfish and we want all the garbage for
Yeah.
ourselves.
And so we keep yelling at her every time she goes for it. So
she's like, oh, but I want some.
That's
You gotta
my garbage.
Share.
yeah,
I'm going to eat that
Penny,
later.
Get away from my garbage.
That's why she waits patiently until none of us are looking, and then she's like, "Well, what they don't know can't hurt them." And then we find her like neck deep in stew. Last Friday, there were crumbs on the back of her head that she couldn't reach
Oh, my
because
God.
she had been that far into the garbage.
Oh, Penny.
What a
Yeah.
tease. What a tease.
Meanwhile, adding to the Cabin Radio roster, our reporter Emily has 2 kittens,
Yeah.
Oh, great cats.
brand new kittens.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah,
Litter box in the studio
No,
too. there?
no. Scott,
No, it's no.
don't even joke about litter boxes in
All
the
right.
studio.
We'll throw it in the merch room. It's fine.
Oh, no.
no.
How do I show my disdain over a microphone in radio?
I'd say
This
you're
is
pretty
the
good
only
at it,
time
actually.
we need video. See my face.
No kittens,
Kittens?
itty bitty kitties.
We already have a puppy. We're going to get kittens?
How cute. How cute.
Oh, come on.
One of them doesn't even have a name yet. You get to name it.
I'm not naming it.
No,
No.
you want to name
I
it?
feel like you'd come up with pretty entertaining names.
Yeah, the name
right
will be
now.
Get Out.
It's kind of cute.
Get out. Come here.
Aww,
It'd be very confused.
cute.
Very, very confused.
Little get out.
Yeah.
Get out.
Come here, Get Out.
Cat's current name is Little Hulk.
Little Hulk.
Yeah.
What about when it grows up?
I don't know.
Well,
Still
you-
be like, you get those like mobsters that are still nicknamed Tiny.
No, it's
Be like
fine.
one of those.
Yeah. You want
Right.
to talk to little Mike in the corner.
Yeah, 6'9",
Yeah.
300 pounds.
Tattoos
Yeah.
all over him.
You just won't want to make it mad when it grows up because, well, you won't like it.
Well, that's
mad.
every cat. I honestly, it's mutual with cats. They don't like me just as much as I don't like
Well,
them.
that's probably because they listen to the radio.
yeah,
probably,
that's it.
Probably the cat demographic of the Northwest Territories right now. They're building signs. They're turning up outside the doors.
Our metrics do show that cats from the age of 6 to 7 are a big demographic for cabin radio.
This is just like last month where we had dogs and dolphins protesting outside. I can't remember what we did to them, but I do distinctly remember that there was a dog and dolphin protest. I think Jesse did something. Now it's cats.
Whatever he said that one time in dolphin tongue, obviously really upset them.
We get like biblical plagues at cabin radio of different animals outside the building, deeply unimpressed with whatever we've said on any given day.
Fair enough.
Meant nothing to us. Very, very insulting to dolphins.
All of which is to say, we do need a name for kitten numero 2, and in order to facilitate that, we'll try and procure a photo or a bit of video off Emily. Watch the Mornings at the Cabin Facebook page. You will have an opportunity to provide your best suggestion for a new name for Little Hulk. Like, I don't know, Big Ant-Man.
It's a great placeholder name, though. If she, I mean, like, I'd be happy to name my cat. I don't more of a cat name than a dog name. I think Little Hulk.
Little Hulk, yeah, I'd see that. And then just because they get angrier,
that's right.
it just makes more sense.
They're scarier when they're angry. Yeah. No, I'd be happy with Little Hulk, but I feel like our listenership can come up with something.
We have faith in you.
Yeah.
As you head into the rest of your Monday, just remember, Cabin Radio has faith in you.
Thanks for listening. Check out more from the show at cabinradio.ca and by following the Mornings at the Cabin Facebook page.